The neighbors are probably watching me right now and they're like, who's the kid in the Jurassic Park shirt with his hands up in the middle of his kitchen? Last time you watched, I asked, who are you? This time, I'm gonna answer, who am I? I am a 27-year-old who, hold on, eats way too much ice cream between the days of Monday and Wednesday. And I also dabble in way too many peanut M&ms, as if you can notice. This is a 3-pound bag that is now gone. It is December 17th. I bought that, I believe, on the 14th. Some real issues, if you can't figure that one out. Besides my eating habits of bad decisions and overindulging when I shouldn't, who am I? Well, I always knew I was different from the start, and what I mean by that is I always knew that I wanted to do something big. Ever since I was little, my parents will vouch for that, my brother will vouch for that. I've always wanted to do something big from the start, and I never knew really what it was, and it takes a while, and I think that's something that you have to understand, is that when we look for our passions and we look for our purpose, it's not an overnight thing. It takes a long time to really figure out what it is that we really want to do, or what we want to chase, or really what our dreams are. I think we have to come to you have to self-realize, take a step back and really understand who you are as a person. Sometimes you might think you are a lot different than really what you are. And what I mean by that is that I think you have to put it into realistic terms. If you're not a good singer, you can't have these dreams and aspirations to be, on Billboard Top 10, being a singer or anything along those lines, I think you have to self-evaluate yourself and look in the mirror and self-evaluate yourself and take those core things that you really think you're good at, that you can do on a daily basis, and use that to help other people chase your goals or whatever the fuck it may be, right? I always knew I was different. I always knew I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and I found that at a very young age, but I didn't know how I was going to do that, if I was going to go into social work, if I was going to do this, if I, was going to be a doctor and do it that way. I did, have goals after high school to go to school to be a pediatrician. Those kind of changed. Goals do change, in certain aspects of life, and that kind of changed. Now I've grown, and it's amazing how much you've grown in a short period of time, but I look at things now and I say, I really know what I want to do now. I really know what I feel like I can do to make a difference in somebody's lives. And whether it's one person watching this or 100 or whatever it may be, if I can make a difference in one person's life and help them get through an issue where they can look back and be like, hey, yo, dude, thanks for that video. That really helped out a lot. Just by watching that, it made a difference in my life. And the reason why I say that is because about 10 years ago, somebody went out on the limb and did it for me. And my life changed drastically for the rest of my life. And I'll never forget that person. I'll never forget what they did for me. And it was because of one simple thing of what they did for me. They put their name on the line for me to get me an opportunity to go do something, and I was able to do it. And that moment changed, or that experience that I was allowed to go participate in, changed my life because of him. And I don't know if he never really knew the stage, or knew, how much that actually meant to me. I was young, I was 17 at the time. But from that, I really taken an approach of I need to give back. I need to help other people. I need to give people that opportunity where they can look back at something that I can help them with and be like, yo, dude, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here today. And that's what motivates me. That's what pushes me. That feeling is awesome. I fucking love it. It's the best feeling. And fortunately, I was doing it for a few years within hockey, and seeing kids grow, personally, or develop personally and develop on and off the ice was something that was tremendous. And it was something I was satisfied from my purpose. I was satisfied on what I was doing. I was getting that satisfaction. And with that satisfaction, it brings happiness. And I realized it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about anything else. It was about knowing I was making a difference in somebody's life was making my life better. And that's it. To me, that is the biggest thing. So I knew I was going to be different from the start. And over the last couple of years, this is kind of the avenue that I want to take. And I've been wanting to start this for about 2 years now, but I just never had the fucking balls to do it. I was always so afraid. I was like, I can't talk in front of a camera. It's not going to work. Nobody's going to watch this. But it doesn't matter. I know it's going to work. I know it's going to make a difference in people's lives. I know it's going to help people. And that's all that matters. And it might be small now, but I know it's going to grow. I know it's going to get bigger. This is the kind of support that we need today in this world. This world is full of shit all over the fucking place. And this is the kind of stuff that can really make a difference. You know, and for me, it's not about money. It's not about anything else. It's about, like I said over and over so far, is if somebody can look back and say, yo, dude, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here today, or I wouldn't be in the spot I'm in now, or anything along those lines. That brings me happiness. That is essentially what makes me happy at the end of the day. 60, 70 years from now, I want to be known as the person that's made so many people's lives better. When they come in contact with me, they leave as a better person. They leave happier. They feel, when they leave my presence, or you watch these videos, I want you guys to feel like, wow, like I can really go do whatever I want to do, or I feel good about myself, or like, wow, like thanks for opening up my eyes to this specific topic. That's what I want to create. And 60 years down the road from now, I want to be noticed I want to be known as the person that's made a difference in people's lives. Not like fucking Gandhi and the fucking Buddha and all that shit, but you fucking get what I'm saying, right? So many people go through life just going through the motions. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Over and over and over again. And you get caught up in that grind of time and time and time, weeks again, and time goes by, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Before you fucking know it, you're like, holy shit, realistically, what did I ever do at the end of my life, with my life? You have a fucking great resume that you did this, and that, like, cool. But realistically, did you actually make a difference in anybody's life? Did you change the world in any way? Probably not. And to me, that's way more important, is making a difference in people's life, changing shit, fucking making a difference, rather than a fucking 80-page resume saying I have all these accomplishments. You know, to me, that's way more important than anything in life. In most cases, so many people go through life without a purpose. They go in this grind, they go. You need a purpose in life. You need to do something big. Or let me take that back. You don't have to do anything big. You just have to do something to fulfill your purpose. And whether that's fucking baking, writing, whatever the fuck it is, you need to fulfill that purpose, because that purpose essentially is going to make a difference in someone else's life. By human nature, we're genetically engineered to have a purpose, and everyone is different. That's the best part about people, is that everyone has a purpose that's different. You know, Steve Jobs wanted to make fucking computers. Look what he fucking did. You know, fucking Musk wants to go to fucking Mars. Look at that shit. Like, everybody is purpose to do different things. You know, and for me, this is what I feel I need to do. And that's who I am. That is my purpose. Something that I wanted to talk about also was personal branding and self, realization of who you are and what you stand for and what you represent. I talked about this a little bit in the last video, but this, I kind of wanted to clarify a little bit. Personal branding, and people will talk about personal branding and it's, oh, like, he represents that company, or he wears those clothes, and he does this shit, and he fucking talks to them, and he does this, right? Yeah, that's from a business perspective, that's what personal branding is. But from what I'm talking about is personal branding from as an actual human being, as a person, right? Go ahead and make fun of me about how I say the word human. It's cool, like, no big deal, all right? But as people, who are we? And as a personal brand, you need to write some things out. What really define you? And my personal brand is making a difference, is wanting to be known as somebody who makes other people better. Because in that chase and in that pursuit of making other people better, I know that it's going to lead me to find the things in life that are going to make me happy. And at the end of the day, to me, that's all that really matters. If I can go out and help other people, make a difference, that's going to help me sleep at night. And personal branding, from Personal Branding 101, that's what I represent in a nutshell. I might wear a hat, I might wear a t-shirt or shoes or whatever, and that's cool. Or I might eat fucking peanut M&ms or ice cream or whatever. That is me as a person, and I do have a quirky side to me, and it's cool. But from from that purpose standpoint, that personal branding, that's who you have to be. You have to know that. And once you know those core values about yourself, those 4 or 5 things of I want to do this, I want to do that, this is what I represent, and most importantly, this is what I believe in. Whether it's being truthful or being faithful or being, goal orientated or whatever it may be, you have certain things that are those values in place in your life that make you, and that is your personal branding. That is your personal branding. That's who you represent. That's who you are at the core. That's who you are 24/7. All the time. And I think once you figure that out and you can truly stick to those goals or those aspects of your brand as a person, that's when you can really understand who you are, and then you can put something into place where you can go chase it, or you can go do it that'll make you happy, or it'll give you opportunities to go chase a different career. You need to know those aspects of personal branding. If you don't, it's like trying to build a fucking house without a foundation. There's no core, there's no stabilization. I was like this so many years ago. I was like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go here, I want to go there. And it was like, I was doing things for like 6 weeks, and I was like, my heart's never in this, and then I would leave. And it was because I didn't know who I was. I thought I did, but I really didn't. I was like, oh, I want to go do this, chase that for I want to start my business. Oh, 6 weeks later, and I'm like, that's not what I want to do. And I think as you grow and you get older and you can actually understand who you are as a person, you can make those judgments and you can take a step back and be like, this is 10 things about me and what I represent, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do to make a difference. And listen, if it took me a long time, it might take other people 2 days or maybe a lot longer than me. But if you sit down and you really take time to understand who you are as a person, and I think so many people these days know more about other people, about who's popular on Instagram, who's popular on TV, or who's on fucking ET tonight, right? Or who's fucking blowing up TMZ at 3 a.m, right? So many people are more fascinated with that shit that so many people don't even know who the fuck they are as a person. And that's some fucked up shit. To say that you know other people than you know yourself, when realistically you spend every single minute of your life with yourself, and you can't tell me who you are as a person and what you represent, but you can tell me what fucking so-and-so on Instagram is and what they represent and who fucking brands them and all this shit. You need to take a step back, put your priorities in order. And you need to understand who you are as a person to be able to move forward. To take that first step, you need to know who you are and what you represent.